This is the Cats and Pudding Podcast. A melting pot of pudding. And now, here's Jen.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Cats and Pudding. And I'm Jennifer DeLandro, and today I have a wonderful guest who is a friend, who is a peer, and who is a fellow woman in business. My friend, Molly Hopkins. Look at her. Look how beautiful she is. She's so cute. I love her.
I'm excited.
I'm excited you're here today. I'm so happy you're here. We spent like the whole weekend together. We had a great event on Friday.
It was incredible.
Right? And Saturday was awesome.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here and show you how I get down. Because, you know, I've came to see you a few times when I come here. So I know
she's my patient
how
too.
you do the things. So it's been awesome. Like, I love New York. I knew from a very early age that at some point I would have a store here or be here more than I am. Because I love it.
You know what? It's a great place. It is. It is a great place. It's got a different vibe, but I also love Atlanta too, and I love the South. I do love the South. Molly's a Southern belle. We're like two polar opposites, but yes, we're the same.
Yeah,
right?
You know why we're the same? Because I'm like Southern hell.
Yes.
I'm really sweet, but don't mess with me. So I'm like the combo.
She's not a Southern belle. She's Southern hell.
Well, I had to hang out with a few ladies from up here to really understand how to throw it down like that. So I'm changing. You know, you're about to hit 50 and you just don't tolerate the BS anymore. So I feel like I'm changing.
No, I don't tolerate it either. I'll be 54.
But my heart's always been in the right place. And you can't take that away from somebody who grows up in the South that's very loving and giving through fall. Yes, that part too.
Bless her heart. She's so cute. So now you're coming to New York a lot more now because obviously Molly was on a very popular show. She was on 90 Day Fiancé, 90 Day also Paradise, and what other show were you on?
I did Singles.
You did the whole.
I did the first
90 Day
spin-off Singles, yeah.
And you shared her own diary show, right? With your
done all of
ex-partner.
it. I did Happily Ever After. I was solo, so clearly it wasn't happily, but it was because I wasn't where I was.
Well, you were happy because you were solo. You weren't in that toxic relationship, so it should be Happily Alone Ever After. That's what it should.
That's right.
You should have a show about happy alone. That's going to be the next premise to a show I'm going to do is being happy alone. Right? Because everybody seems to think they have to be happy with somebody. And not saying that that you shouldn't be with somebody. I'm just saying sometimes it's okay to be alone.
It absolutely is. And I think in the past year, that's what I have done is really worked on myself, being by myself, knowing that I can do myself alone enough and focus on my business and my kids. Like that's why I'm here now, right? Because I want to expand the brand and do things.
She's amazing. I was very impressed with working with her. You're great. She has well, tell us about your company. I'm not going to tell you. Let's tell about your company and what your product gears towards and who your target markets are.
Well, since 2006, LiviRae Lingerie has been an established business. And we specialize in bra fitting for bust health. And the thing is like, I think when people hear lingerie, they think, oh, we just sell like all this sexy stuff and like
but one shot stuff is very sexy though.
It is.
Nice.
But when it comes to foundation first, it's kind of like you can't build a house without a firm foundation.
Right.
You can't go about daily life unless you have a firm foundation, whether you found it through religion or spirituality or whatever it is. You have to have a good core, a good foundation. And so clothing.
And having a good bra is very important.
Yeah, because it's the first thing we put on.
True. And it's the best feeling when you take it off at night, right? When I take my bra off at night, that's like the best feeling in the world. I'm like, free at last. Thank Lord Jesus, I'm free at last. Like, that's the way I feel.
Well, I feel totally opposite.
Really?
I don't take it off until I go to bed because my boobs will fall to the floor.
Yeah, I'm saying when I get to
need the
bed,
support,
I can't wait
but
to
you
get
do
off.
feel good because it's binding on the body.
But it does, I have to say, when you fitted me for my bra the other day, you don't realize how so many women don't wear the right size bra, right?
It's 85%, they say, and
crazy.
It hasn't changed since I started.
It's crazy. And the way, even when my boobs were like, just perfect in the bra, and it was just like, I couldn't believe it. I said, this is the way my boobies are supposed to look.
This
look
is
so
how,
beautiful. They were like, I just wanted to rub them. I'm like,
I compare it to
Thelma and
somebody.
Louise were awesome.
Like, getting their first apartment, right? Like, you don't got the furniture. It
Well,
kind
I got
of
a
sucks.
penthouse
And then when
because
you
they
know,
really look
you
good.
go into, like, your mansion. Like, no more Section 8 public housing. Like, you got to get right.
No more Target bras for me.
Why would anybody leave their boobs in the hands of Sam Walton
so
that found
true.
in Walmart?
Right.
Like, why?
Why? You know what? That's absolutely right. I mean, I wear
Seriously.
expensive sunglasses. I wear expensive bags, and I'm putting myself in a $10 bra. Like, why would I do that?
Because we
Even Victoria's
don't
Secret
know.
sucks. I'm sorry about Victoria's Secret.
We
I don't
call it
I shouldn't say
Victoria's
they
suck it. But it does suck because they're teenagers.
They're pretty.
That's it.
But they're not for women
No.
who are full figured and have,
Boobs.
like big tits. Yes.
Yeah. Well, even in America
Big
today, we
old
eat a
boobies.
lot of chicken as a nation. It's packed with hormones. Why do you think there's 13-year-olds walking around
my God.
looking like they're 22?
That's why.
And white girls in Georgia are having asses because they're eating the food and they're
Yep.
getting boobs
It's
and
so
butts.
true.
Like,
and tall. They're like Amazons.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's
I don't
the
remember
food.
girls being that tall when I was in grade school. Like when I was at my daughter's graduation from 8th grade, my daughter's 5'10", Ava. She's huge. I call her the baby giraffe. She all the kids in her grade were all over 5'5", 5'6". Like they were huge. And I was like, I mean, I'm 5'5", 5'6", but these kids were towering. I'm like, I don't remember kids being that tall. There was always like maybe one or two kids who were really tall, but everybody, all the girls were tall. And it's definitely because of the freaking hormones. I agree with that.
but you have to think, you have to go with the times. And then when implants, started really, really becoming a thing and all these surgeries and all this stuff, like, you can't just have, I mean, how many women are in this room right now or how many were in that space? No one had the same thing. And in most commercial stores, you get a choice of like 10 to 12 sizes. Right. We have over 150.
Wow.
And not everybody that wears the same size has the same shape.
No.
I always tell girls that come in like Georgia, it's a very Southern slang thing. You cannot put 40 pounds of meat in a 20-pound sack. You cannot.
We say to them, no, we're not going to put a 5-pound sausage in a 2-pound bag. That's what somebody looks like when they're wearing a really tight outfit and they look like they're casing coming out of the casing. Yeah.
Say it differently,
but it's true.
It's really all about the health of the fit, and that's what I focused on. And I think that's why you being a doctor, you being in the space that you're in with your business, there's complete synergy, because when a woman comes in and I say, oh my gosh, you have to take your shirt off, the first thing she wants to say is, I'm fat, old, ugly, or I used to be.
That's very true.
And I'm like,
that is absolutely true.
Well, I can help you with this, and then we'll work on that. But when I align myself with women who are in business to be the problem solver for the things of how we see ourselves, there's no way we can't win, right? Because you're an expert in what you do. Mm-hmm. I'm the GOAT. I don't care. Line me up 1,000 women on the streets of New York that have never had a bra fitting and give me the tools, and they're all leaving better than they came.
It's true.
And really seeing themselves differently.
And like the way you have it with her. Like I was like, hey, Molly was behind me. She was like, get your boobs in, and lifted my straps up. I was like, damn. And the way just fitting it right. It's just amazing what a difference it is. And it's just maybe a stitch here or a stitch there, but you have to have the eye, and that's why you're an artist, because you see that, you vision it, and every woman is different. There's no one woman alike, and you can't say, well, yeah, I could take this bra and put this on this one. This one might not fit this person. You might have to alter it to adjust it to people.
And I have a background in sewing and specialty design. I went to school for music. I really thought I was going to lead a mega choir. And
you could still sing.
Minor in
Spanish. Sing while you sew.
In the shower. But it just made sense. And when you follow what your calling is and you really listen and you pay attention, and for me, it's not work. I love it.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself, you have to go home. I got kids. I got to do the laundry. I got to go be with my family. But like, I feel like when you're in a space, right? So take this show, for example. Yes, everybody wants love. I didn't really have control over that. I didn't really know what was going to be shown. I really didn't know that my story was going to be dissected and chopped.
I mean, you had some really, especially the last season, you had some issues of what was going on.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that? Is that allowed? Okay.
But in this space where I'm at and being able to leverage a show for your brand, I would do it all over again.
And this was the Paradise, the Love of Paradise, where I came, the show I came that was getting filmed.
I mean, but when you can do that, and the women that come are like, I didn't see that, but I did see you fit a bra. Can you help me? Like, that makes it all worth it, right? Because my whole life mission is to just do this work. And I love it. It's not, I feel like I can't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I can say that, but
you can say whatever the fuck you want
I can't fuck it up. I love New York. You can say fuck.
I love it. It's like saying the fuck. You know, New York, New fucking York. That's it.
But like, it was so good. And then when I meet women like you who see me and how you saw me, right? The first exchange I had with you was because I was coming here and I'm like, I want to use you for your service.
Yes.
I want Botox come see your space.
Yes.
And then over the last couple of years, it's progressed.
And how did you found me on your own or through Tom? Was it because I do a lot of the 90-day fiancé cast, so it's like and I didn't know if it was you found me from following me or you found me through Tom. I don't remember how that.
Somebody posted something.
Maybe Ashley, it could be.
Maybe it was Ashley because I had met her in LA.
Mm-hmm. She's the sweetest.
She was so kind, and we connected. And I think it was
Ashley Martinson.
That's exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. It was because she sent me a message about a lip thing you guys were doing.
Yes, and we have a lipstick.
Then I saw you, and I just started following you, and it was truly because like every single day you post, you're hustling. I see you here, I see you there, I see you everywhere. And I'm like, that's who I am, you know, and I feel like I have changed the way I view myself and who I want to be around, because when you're around people who are powerful and hustling, like, it's not easy.
No, it's true.
It's hard.
It's not people. We had this discussion yesterday, and I said people only see the end result. They don't see the work that goes into it especially when you own a business, and you own a business too, and. They don't see, like, I'm the first one there, I'm the last one to leave. My day doesn't end when I shut the door. I'm talking to people, emailing, making deals, figuring out what my next move is. I'm working Saturdays, Sundays. Sometimes I don't I work 14 days straight and I don't stop. And people don't see that. They only see my rewards. They don't care. And people don't care how you got there and what you did to get there. They only want that. And then those are the people who are jealous of you and they don't wish the best for you. And meanwhile, it's like, dude, nobody stopped you from doing that. Go to school for 20 years like I did, get 4 degrees, take a chance and work hard, and anybody can achieve it. You can't disparage me because I took that chance or you took that chance. And you and I have the same story in that way, where we had people that we were in business with, didn't do us the right, which was terrible.
And the thing is this, like, I'm excited. Like, if I have someone who comes to see me and they're going to do a bra and you're there as another business, as a woman-owned business, and the first thing they say is like, oh my God, I don't love this, or I can't lose the weight, or I don't like my saggy neck.
It's a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit, especially for women, because you know what? We seem to always neglect ourselves, and then you have these women like, don't do Botox, don't do this. You know what? I want to look good. I want to be a woman. I don't want to be a man. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to be. All these new feminists want us to be men, and I don't want to be a man. I'm sorry. I just don't. I'm a powerful woman. I want to be respected.
Yeah.
But I still want my door opened for me. And I still want to look glamorous, and I still want to be beautiful, and I don't care, and I think men should, and that's the problem, is I feel like we want to make women like, so why we can't, like, talking about bras, for example. People don't sit there and talk about their bra size. Like, we should be able to talk about that and say that this is something for women that makes them feel better and look better in clothes, and makes them be able to stand taller and walk taller because they did something that makes them look better. And it's so true.
And men are physical and visual.
Yes.
And even same-sex couples that come in my store, because we have a very open, non-judgmental space. And I do, binders for trans clients, and I build non-surgical breasts, and I help post-cancer patients with prosthetics. Like, it's not just about that. Mm-hmm. But when we're coming in to our rite of passage as women, what's the thing we talk about?
Right.
Our tits. Getting bras. The first time you get a bra, like you're, I got
your
boobs.
tits and your period. Yes. That's the first greatest conversation. Yeah. About greatest, but.
Yeah. But segueing into the whole thing from the show, like you said, I want to feel like a woman. I did not want to be seen as this emasculating bitch.
Right.
I'm a home girl. Like, I'm going to cook. I'll clean. I'll iron your freaking T-shirt if you want me to.
Did you feel like the show wanted you to do that? Did you feel like the show wanted you to be emasculating to who you were dating or who you were married? Were you married to the person or were you weren't?
No, I wasn't. I don't feel like they wanted me to be that. I felt like at the time in filming, I was so angry.
Right.
I did not want to be there working on something that I knew was not
going to work.
And so all of the things that they showcased me stating made it look like
you were angry
I wanted this do boy or I wanted all this stuff. And I'm like, no, I want a man that can be a partner, not work for me, not me boss around, but like,
you want
do
somebody
something.
who's gonna compliment you, and that's what a partner is somebody who's gonna compliment you and walk through life with you and help each other. It's not just one. It's just not just one way.
Well, I'm the chick that calls if I'm on my way home from work and says, "Hey, do you need anything?" Even though you've been at home all day,
right?
I'm gonna make sure that you want something. And for me,
I don't do that. I'm sorry.
It was about reciprocity. It really is just the reciprocity. Like, don't ask me what I want for dinner.
Right.
And I'm coming 40 minutes to your apartment away from my home where I'm going to be comfortable, to spend time. And then I get there and you're like, you're on your own. I already ate.
Where was the part? Because I have to watch your season. Who was the person that you were with? Like, what country were they from? Because everybody knows the premise of the show. Basically, it's a couples who they're dating or engaged to somebody from another country, and then at the end they're going to see if they're going to wind up being together and coming in with a green card and staying here as your spouse, basically.
So I initially knew nothing about this show. I did not watch this show. I don't watch a lot of TV like that because I'm always working. And so my business partner at the time was like, "You're going to kill me. I watched this show. I love it." And at the end, it says, "Do you know somebody going through the K1 process?"
And you were.
I had met Luis in the DR like 3 years prior to this. Yes. But it was controversial. He was younger. I felt like he could keep up with me. He was handsome. I loved the country. It was great. But I had no idea that 2.5 years of grooming basically would lead to him getting here and turning into a complete dick.
Okay.
Like, hateful, angry. He had someone here. So
wow,
it didn't work out.
Behind your back? Or
he had someone here in Jersey.
Wow.
So
is he still here?
I have no idea.
You have no clue. I
don't know. He got married right after he got here to someone else.
To someone else.
So
who is a citizen? They were a citizen. I just feel like that this show kind of causes people to become predators. It's like an open forum for predators for people. They go online, they try to find women, and then they're like, "Oh, now let's see. You know what we could do? Now have a show. You could go on TV." And honestly, I was telling you this yesterday. I feel like a lot of people who go on reality TV, people are not. I don't want to bash your show, but a lot of people on that show, they put fame into ordinary people's hands who can't handle it, and then that's a problem. And then on top of it, you're with somebody and you're going through this like real like serious process of bringing them over to become a citizen, and you're basically taking their life into your hands because you are responsible for this person when you're with them. That's it. People don't understand, when you marry them and they're still not a citizen, anything that they do falls on you. Like, you have to, right? You have to pay for. Isn't it like if they?
Well, what happens is if they end up on like supplemental income or get food stamps or any of these things, you're responsible for 10 years. But I didn't have to be.
Can you imagine? Like, that's
because I had the
proof.
proof.
Thank God. But you were never married though, right?
We got married. Okay, so this is what happened. He wanted to work, and I'm like, okay, then let's do the thing. So
he should be working.
When
right?
my officiant came, I said, "Can we just sign the paper and then go through with the wedding for the thing? Because I need this man to get a job."
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't about that
because they can't
at
get
all.
a job unless
He wanted to get his papers and his stuff. Like, it wasn't about working at all.
Right. He wanted his papers.
Thought
so
he was going to be a freaking prince and free America is what everybody quotes. I'm like, shit ain't free.
Yeah.
You got to work. Like,
no, it's free for some people. It's not
you know
free
what I
for
mean?
everybody else.
But that led into me meeting someone from here.
Yeah.
And
from New York?
From New York.
Okay.
From Brooklyn. And so I didn't even talk to him. Like, I talked to him just through chatting for about 7 months.
That's the police officer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what happened was he said, I'm almost ready to retire. And so I dated him for a couple years, right? And I would come back and forth. And he would come to Georgia. But as soon as he retired and decided to come there, he got an apartment closer to the city. Because, I mean, I live in the country, right? So you're not going to be transplanted from there to there. But I really believe that he is a serial reality watcher. I really believe that I was like this fantasy girl for him.
And you're probably right.
And it wasn't what it was.
Right.
And
it was all
hyped up.
It was like an act. It was hyped up in an act.
And I'm like, you have no kids. You're not married. And
that's
like,
2 red flags right there.
When you're always like, and then want to come back home and tell people you have a place. You live with your mother, and so does your brother. Like, come on now.
Well,
no, and he had an apartment.
Right. That's a triple. Oh, my God.
Quit lying.
No.
Like, I never said a bad word about the guy.
He was trying to snare you because he wanted to be on
never said a bad word. Yeah, and now he just tells all this crazy stuff, and I'm like,
does he try to like get a lot? He should tell things so that he could get like interviews and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. But when you're only
verified.
interviewing with like people who have nothing better to do than spread false drama and bullshit. Like,
there's a lot of like 90-Day Fiancé trolls. Oh my! I think your show is the worst of the trolls.
Terrible.
Out of anybody. I have never seen people. I mean, I thought like you could put the Housewives, every freaking show, the Kardashians, every show together. There is nothing worse than them. They are horrible, and they will find everything. They go through stuff. They like, and they inbox the cast members and stuff like that, and tell them things.
I have no problem with a troll, but like, what kind of person would just spread false narrative when they've never even asked you anything,
right,
or think they know something? Because it's very, unhealthy, and it's unhealthy. But I get it. That's a part of taking on this role, right? But if I didn't have a good foundation and a good constitution about myself, and know that my truth, I can sleep at night knowing the real absolute truth, I would probably have fallen into a deep depth. But instead of eating my feelings, I decided to do yoga and lose weight.
And not go off the rails.
You know?
You handled it with grace, and you had a lot of issues, and you could go into that. I wanted you to tell them a little bit of the story, but you handled it, and you didn't fall off the rails. You didn't make it crazy. You weren't going on social media doing ranting. You weren't doing that. You handled it that way, and that's the way it should be handled. And you went through a lot too. You went through a lot. It wasn't like that. It wasn't a bad scene. It was a bad scene,
right?
But I just feel like and I discussed this with you also, I think yesterday, and I said, I think that when you're on these shows, you get wrapped up in this negatively, and you think, and this is all you do, is you're involved in this negative all day long, every day, and you think that everybody else knows what's going on every minute of every day, and you're like, but I'm not. I don't know what's going on. Like every minute of what's going on your show. But they get so wrapped up, and it's like, and it becomes. I see it becomes obsessive, and it becomes,
it's really almost like a cultish obsession. And I only say that due to what I get on the back end, or like letters. Someone went out of their way to send a letter to my store and call my place of business to be hateful and ugly. And that's when I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Like, this is not how I live my life. I am actually a very positive, productive person in society. Like,
you are.
I don't want to do this. I don't do this. Like, I would rather pray for you and say, hey, what's wrong?
Is that why you walked away? Because you just had enough?
Yes, because I can't do it anymore. And like, if I can't be the executive producer of my life that I'm living every day,
and that's the problem,
to tell my story, then I got to go because this is not healthy.
Yeah.
It wasn't healthy for my kids.
Tell them a little bit about what happened.
Which is what happened with Livy, because, my daughter's grown up in this reality sector of my life prior to that, and she wasn't doing that great, right? But kids go through shit in your early 20s. I mean,
you're just
I was
figuring
in college
it out.
having kids and working 3 jobs. Like, I
Not
get it.
these kids today. These kids are still figuring it out.
This whole mental health thing and, drugs, things that are accessible, it's like they don't know how to navigate it because they're still learning. And even though they're grown, they're not grown up.
Right. Exactly.
20 years old doesn't mean you're grown.
No.
It means that you're coming into your adulthood. So my daughter was having a little bit of a time about it. And she actually really respected Kelly. And we went on trips together. But there came a moment where she was in my store and he thought I was there with someone else. It was before Thanksgiving. This was right after he had been down there.
And this was the last one you did. This was last year, right?
Yes, it was in 22.
Paradise, right? 90,
yes,
okay.
and right before we filmed that, he busted up in my store and he choked my kid.
Oh, my God.
He choked my kid. And there was a warrant after the filming, but I did not want to film.
He actually grabbed her?
I did not want to film. Yeah, I
did...
yoked her up and put her against the wall and then said it didn't happen. But the next day said, I'm out of here. I'm going to go home. I'm going to New York.
Your poor daughter. She must have been terrified.
Yeah, she was. I mean, he is like 280, 5'7", 8. And
he's a big dude.
100 pounds,
He's
5'2".
Not a small guy.
But we didn't want to say anything at the time because I'm like, I don't need this. We don't need the press. I was splitting with my partner at the time, and we couldn't get access to the video. Like, there was a lot going on, so we just didn't say anything.
So it's kind of...
But what happened was he wanted to go on the show for Last Resort, I guess, and try to think, and he felt stupid because I was like, I'm not reconciling shit.
Right.
So when he came back, he pitched some texts because she exchanged a few things with him, but he tried to make it look like we were racist and this is what you get from going to the South. I'm like, no, what we got is an abusive ass police from Brooklyn and you're not telling the truth.
Right.
Like, that's the truth. So we just had to navigate for a year. My daughter, and it was terrible. And like, people were saying she's spoiled, she's rotten, she ruins all my relationships. She's not ruined a thing.
Yeah.
Nothing. I love my kid. Like, we go through stuff with our kids, but...
I mean, your daughter wouldn't make that up. It's not like
No.
somebody's going to go and make an accusation that somebody choked them.
And there was someone else there. Right.
Somebody else, well,
it happens.
It's, I don't see your daughter doing that. And they're not, unless your daughter is the most screwed up human being on the planet, you're not gonna do
No.
You're not gonna accuse somebody, especially if something like that. Just not gonna do that. For him to even say that, he looks ridiculous. And everybody knew he was lying anyway.
He was embarrassed. She was like, you're fat and lazy and you need to buy bigger pants. You got a dusty ass. Like, she said that. And then she used a word, and then that's when everybody was like, oh, my God, they're racist. She's like, my dad's black. He's from California. Like, what are you talking about? Just because I'm light-skinned. But it's like, then there comes the controversy of, what are you doing or what are you saying? Hell, I got talked about because my youngest little girl's hair wasn't done. And I'm like, do you know what it's like to have a fragmented chromosome child that has sensory issues?
You can't brush their hair.
You can't brush their hair. There's days where you can't touch them because they're going to scream. So we pick our battles. Like, oh, you get your hair done all the time. No, I don't. I wake up and I brush it and I go.
I'm lucky I even brushed mine yet. I told you. Sometimes I don't wash it for 2 weeks. It's just so,
And it's just one of those things. And now it's different, right? She can get it braided. She's 13. She's matured some, but she's still very skittish. And so all these things are not what we're allowed to talk about.
Right.
And I did a diaries, cut it off because her dad's girlfriend had gotten it permed and it was so fried. And then she stuck gum in her hair during COVID. Who the hell was going to the beauty salon during freaking COVID? Nobody. So you know what I did? I got the clippers out and we started fresh with great curls and she loved it.
Good for her.
But that's what they showed, not the reason behind why.
They didn't show why, and
they
then
showed
me
buzzing my kid's hair off. Yeah, thinking that
terrible.
it's gonna mess it
That's
up.
terrible.
And that's why I hate this.
Yeah.
You don't know the story really, truly.
Well, they're never going to show the
But
true
they're not going to
story.
do that.
No,
There's
they're
no
gonna they
stakes
cut
in that.
everything. Of course, well, there's no ratings in that. There's no ratings, and they're not going to get that. That's what they need. I mean, let's be honest. That 90 Day Fiancé is probably the biggest conglomerate in the reality worlds right now.
Yeah.
They have triple the viewership of any other show. They do. People love to watch it because there's a lot of train wrecks on that show. I mean, let's say that. And there's a lot of drama on that show.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things like they make it look, and the way they edit it.
It's
just
all in editing,
it's like watching
for
a car
sure.
crash. You like almost have to watch it.
It's all in editing.
Yeah.
You know, and I can say this from having
They're
double
great
divas.
editors, I have to say
From
that.
the bra show, we had a beautiful girl that worked for us, and she was young and she was hot and she sang and she did all the things. And then a couple came in to buy lingerie, and the way they cut it, she said, ooh. But it wasn't against the lady. But the way they did it, and her heart was broken because she's such a beautiful soul.
She didn't
say
felt
that.
bad.
And we
She
would
felt
never
bad.
say that because it's just how it is. And I knew then, but it's okay, right? Because
Yeah.
it's landed me as a bra mega
Yes.
girl. I'm like
It landed
the
you
guru.
where you are, and you got to meet me, right?
Yeah,
we would have never
so
met.
good.
Like we might have ran into. We might have. There was a destiny. Whether it's a vision, destiny, you mean. But this is where the road led you. So that's you took something like that and made it positive. You know, you took the opportunity and made it a positive. A lot of people don't do that. You know. They think that reality TV is going to be their lifelong career, and they don't understand. All right, well, 5 years from now, when the show's over and nobody cares about you anymore, what do you got now?
And I feel like in order to be a good steward with my gifts and talents as well, and having done a business and been up, been down, been all around, like there's been a few people that are going to be on the show, and they trust me, so they'll say, "What's going on?" or "What should I?" I'm like, "Do you have a business? Do you have a product?" You need to have it ready to rock, because if you're not going to use this type of situation to leverage your business, then I would not do it.
And that is the only reason why, and we talked about that too, is that I would ever do a show or is to, it's supposed to help the business. That would be the only reason. Because if I'm going to take time away from my business to go and film, and I'm losing money, I'm not at my... And then I'm getting aggravated and upset on top of it, and with negativity, is it worth it? It's not worth it. I would like to be on a show that it's fun, that it's uplifting. I said, and everything now is so negative. It's so negative. There is nothing positive on any of these shows. There's not everything is negative, and that's why I really don't watch them, because it's like, I don't even get a good feeling anymore. Like I used to years ago when the reality TV first came out, we used to watch it. It used to be fun. Like watching the dumb shows like what was the first one? I loved watching what was the, I mean, Gotti Boys, of course, I love.
I don't know what Flavor of Love.
Flavor of Love. Every rose has its thorn. Whatever.
Yes.
What's his name? Brett Michaels show. Like these are dumb shows that were lighthearted. They were fun. There was drama, but it was cute. Like it was nice. It was happy. It wasn't all. The worst show was Bad Girls, and now every show is like Bad Girls now.
Yeah.
Every show is like Bad Girls now. So funny.
Well, that's why I wanted to maybe do something, or even just do webisodes or anything that I can actually have conversations with women businesses.
Yes.
Or if the catalyst was the bra that brought them there, and you just said a minute ago, lift you up, let us lift you up. That's like my mantra. And the bra is the catalyst that gets them there, but it's not about the bra at all. It's about something deeper that they want to talk to me about. And I was like, why can't we take it back like how it was in the 80s, where there was a public service announcement at the end, or are you struggling with, or do you know somebody who needs, like, your hotlines for
or the war on
suicide
drugs.
or that. Seriously. But I felt like that would be better for me, because Molly on a Mission is really my thing. And if I can't help you with pelvic issues or incontinence, or you want to lose weight, or you do all these things, then I'm aligned with other women that's their specialty. And this is the crux of the show. Like, it's got to be something good. I can't do it. I'm not mentally
Is that why you
involved
you
in
got
this
out of the
BS. I couldn't do it anymore. I said no.
That was the coup de grace. That was the final
it.
blow.
I can't do
how
it.
Did they cut it with him on the show? Did they make you guys look bad?
It just looked
I
like
didn't
I
watch it,
was
so I have to watch the season.
there to try to repair a relationship, and I wasn't. They knew that. I went for the therapy and the keys. I'm a water girl. I find solace and really connect water. I'm a Cancer. I'm 7'11", right? I wanted to be able to just have that downtime, but I felt like I needed closure as well because I knew this is it. I'm not doing anything after this. I know I'm not. And I thought that I had moments that would have made sense. But then when I saw the first episode after a couple, I was like, I can't do this anymore. To see myself in that light and to be so hurt and feeling awful and knowing that this is how this is going down and no one's talked about the elephant in the freaking room right now.
We're talking about your daughter getting choked.
No. I can't do this to my kids. I can't do it to myself. And I can't do it to the detriment of myself, that I can't serve in my business the way that God designed me to serve, because I can't. I don't want to do this. But I am grateful also,
you had the opportunity, of course,
for the people that knew, right? Like they know. And then they call me up, or I get messages in the back end like, how did you do it? I want to talk to you. I love you. I saw something in you. Can you help me? So now I'm like a therapist.
Well, you're a good person, Mom. You're a good person, and you exude a good energy, and you're not, you just are. You're a good person, and I think you handle what you handle with grace. Look, you had an opportunity, you took it to where you wanted to take it, and you know what? Now you have your business, and of course, I'm sure if you had an opportunity to do a different type of show that would be more uplifting and about, your business, that would be something. But the whole relationship and this whole, it's just too negative.
I don't care. And it's like, I don't have this master checklist, but I'm not looking either. And it's like, I truly never thought about what does being equally yoked mean, or like someone that's driven and has passion. If I'm going to show up to your business and help you scrub the floors, the toilet, put the packages together, do whatever, I want the same person that knows that I've been here for 10 freaking hours and now I really need you to come and help me bang out these last 2 hours, because it's not 9 to 5. Yeah. It's more like 8 to 8. And some days it's 24 hours. And some days you get half a day and you just feel bad by leaving because somebody may not have gotten help. But I don't want anybody with me that doesn't see that and know that this is where my strengths lie. But I want a partner. A real solid partner that gets it.
Well, hopefully we'll have something up here very soon.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
One of twin powers.
So activate.
In the shape of a big ass bra.
Shape of a large penis.
Oh, well, there's room for that too. Sex sales. I mean, I can make little cock socks for them to hide in the drawer and get in there and have a knitter's guild.
A cock sock. I love it. I love it. We have to find somebody big enough to put in a cock sock.
Well.
So, Molly, tell everybody where to find you. Let everybody know the name of your business, where you're located, and give them the next anything else coming out as far as any other shows coming out on the horizon, any other episodes of anything, or no?
I'm working on a couple of things myself. It really just depends on, again, if I cannot be in charge of creative and production and really understand, because I know now I've been doing this forever. If it's not like this, then I'm not doing it.
Right. You're not compromising.
No, I'm at LiviRae Lingerie, north of Atlanta.
LiviRae Lingerie, isn't that cute?
LiviRae.
That's your daughter. That's her daughter's name.
Yes, and so come. I do virtual fittings all across the world. I have clients everywhere. And it's my gift. It truly is my gift. And I'm walking in that, and I'm walking in purpose with purpose. And to be able to facilitate a non-surgical breast job on women that have had cancer, whether they have a full mastectomy or they just need evening out from a lumpectomy, all the things. I do bras, brains, and beauty for the young girls. I help inner city youth. I serve on a board for breast cancer in Georgia. And it's truly my passion. I want to lift you up, and I want to talk about it and be about it. And I'm not going to get distracted. Well, that stuff was a distraction from my true purpose, really.
Well, now you're gonna focus on this now, and I'm
gonna fulfill my desire to have a store in New York, and I'm gonna be duo back and forth.
I think we're doing that's gonna happen. That's so gonna happen. And you're also on social media, Molly Hopkins.
Yes, Molly Hopkins.
And what about Twitter or?
I don't do Twitter.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm
No,
not a-
I don't
it's
tweet.
really- it's
I
not
said
even
I should
Twitter
start
anymore,
my own
it's X now.
called Titter.
Even though I
and we
love you, Elon, I just don't.
get on there and talk about tits. No,
Let's talk about tits on X.
I just can't. I barely do TikTok. Like they give me the store, I'm doing the thing. I'm like, I don't have time for this. Like I barely can navigate that.
We're gonna have to make some funny TikToks.
And I love social, but it's too much sometimes.
It's a lot of
So
work. It's a second job.
It's really, truly that.
But we could get somebody to help us. Okay. I'm so happy that you came on the show today, and I'm so happy we spent this whole weekend together, and we finished it off on a good note.
Yeah.
And she came on my Cats and Pudding. I'm so happy. Everybody, thank you for watching the show, and please watch us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, not just the shorts. Watch the whole episode and click that subscribe button, please. And we will be our new advertiser is called Dolce Bean Cafe, and we will letting everybody know when we will be opening and when the grand opening is, and they will be our new sponsor. So everybody have a great day, and thank you again, my friend, for coming. Love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
Yay! That was good.